Good morning, friends. Welcome to the Volpe Creates Show. I'm your host, Chris Volpe. Excited to be here today. It's been a while since I've done one of these. So, first of all, thank you all for being here. I'm going to turn this light down. Oh my God, it's blinding me. There, is that better? That's a little better. I have been super busy, and it's been difficult to continually do this show with regularity. I've got a friend I'm taking care of and a bunch of other stuff. But I'm going to try my best to set it every Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern Time so we can do the show. We can talk about everything that is going on in the video game industry. So this is the community conversation about the video game industry. Feel free to throw your thoughts in the chat and we can talk about whatever. But every week I pick a topic out, just kind of talk about it, see what's going on in the world. And I've got a couple interesting things, but I wanted to bring up, got my little handy dandy notebook here that I actually got from an IGDA event I went to at GDC, this nice little booklet. And the topic for today, if you even want to call it a topic, is I hear a lot of folks talking about how this is like the worst time to be a gamer. And in some senses, I get it. I think a lot of people are feeling just an overall sense of negativity. We are all just exhausted from various things. And it's very easy to look at the video game industry and feel like it's falling apart. You've got layoff after layoff. You got these hedge funds and these investors that are making these strategic decisions so that they can make, an extra dollar, even though the game suffers for it. You have this insistence on creating these live service online games, most of which are not very good, and many of which have gone the way of the dodo. We've got Concord. Right now we're looking at what's going on with Marathon and seeing if Bungie is going to be able to recover from that. And there's a whole host we could talk about. And many of you know that I teach. So I teach the Intro to Game Design course at Columbus State. I've been doing that for Columbus State Community College. I've been doing that for like 11 years. And I've also taught at other universities and colleges, business building, game design, writing, team and project management, all sorts of stuff like that. And I will hear this occasionally from my students that this is like a terrible time for games, that the games industry sucks. There's no good games coming out. I just did a podcast the other week where someone was mentioning how, the PS5 has no games. There's no good games out. And it's been, 6-7 years of this drought of video games. And that has caught me many times because I play a fair amount of games. I'm not, a gaming streamer that plays 24 hours a day. I probably, depending on the week, I spend anywhere between 2 to 20 hours playing games in a week. And it just depends on what I have going on, So I have, I think, a fair amount of gaming that I do during the week. And additionally, I also have been playing games since the mid 80s when I was a kid. So I have played a lot of games. You can look up I predominantly play on PlayStation these days. You can look up Volpe Creates on my PlayStation account if you want to see the games I've played. I've got a fair amount of games on there, keeping in mind that I only started playing, I played PlayStation 1 and 2, but I didn't really play the PlayStation 3 until The Last of Us came out. I played the Metal Gear Solid 4 when it first came out, and then I played The Last of Us. Looks like I got some, it sucks. Got some bleach stains on my GDEX hoodie. But anyway, I've played a lot of games. I also have spent a lot of time playing challenging games, and I also have, I think, a fair amount of platinum trophies for some pretty difficult games. I've played single-player games. I've played multiplayer games. Oh, hey, Pumps. How are you doing, sweetie pumpkins? She wants to make a visit. I think she's been I've been staying at my friend's house overnight, taking care of him. He's got cancer, and so she's, I think, missing me. So anyway, all that's to try to preface, and you can take that for whatever it's worth if you consider me to be a real gamer or whatever. I'll put my gaming skills against just about anybody, even though I am about to turn 45 in 6 days, so I'm an old man gamer. But I'll put my gaming skills and definitely my gaming history against just about anybody. So, all of this is to say that I think a lot of folks are really, I don't know if they're stuck in this negative loop, this doom spiral, whatever you want to call it, but this is probably the best time to ever be in video games. Now, I'm going to put a little asterisk here because it's important for this conversation. I'm not talking about the price of consoles very much. I'm not going to be talking about the investors, and I'm not going to be talking about monetization schemes, Skinner box stuff that has made its way into the industry. Not talking about that stuff. What I am talking about is just if you have a PC or a console, there are more amazing games available today than ever before in history. And there is no shortage of stuff to play. Now, in some senses, that might be a little overwhelming. You can go into the paradox of choice. When you have too many choices, people tend to become sort of paralyzed and they don't make good decisions, or they just can't figure out how they want, what they want to do. And sometimes they'll play stuff or, buy stuff and they feel like it should be good, but there's always that little voice in the back of your head that like, oh, well, maybe I could have gotten, the better pair of pants or whatever, the better shirt. But put all that aside for a second. So I was talking to this friend about PlayStation games, and it got me thinking. I was like, okay, so I did a little research here. Okay. So again, we're just talking about games. This is for the PlayStation. I predominantly play on PlayStation, but Xbox, Steam, GOG, Epic, whatever, PC. So I looked this up, and then as I was mentioning, as an older gamer, I kind of find this really curious because this generation just has more to experience than ever before. And I looked at my backlog of games. So I do the Volpe Create Show. I do a podcast for game developers. I throw GDEX. I also do a game club, which you can go to my Discord, where I pick a new game out every month and we play the game together and talk about it. And then I play games on my own, and I've actually started streaming those on this channel. So you can check those out if you care. But I've started playing, more games. I'm just trying to get a wider breadth of content so that I understand and I can, I guess, have meaningful conversations about the industry, making sure I'm staying up to date and in touch with what's going on. So I just did a quick glance. I went to Metacritic and I looked at the number of top games that score an 80% or higher on Metacritic for the PlayStation 5. Now, again, not all of these, man, my hair is wild today. Not all of these are like, brand new exclusive to the PS5, but they are playable on PS5 in its current version. Most of these are not like PS4 games. These should all, I think they're all, I didn't do like a hard check, but these should all be like PS5 games that maybe they were remakes or whatever, but there is a PS5 application version that you can get. So these are games that scored an 80 or above on Metacritic, which on Metacritic is considered like excellent. Anything 80 and above these are some of the best games out there. You want to guess how many there are? I'll give you a second to stick it in your mind or to take a guess on how many games that you think have an 80 or above on Metacritic. And I looked it up, and the answer is 329. So there are 329 games on PS5, just PS5, that have an 80 or above. If you assume that each of those games is going to take you 20 hours to play, which, to be fair, I think is very conservative. I think most of these games are going to take you longer than 20 hours. And if you're interested in doing, the platinums on them, then you're going to easily be able to get more than 20 hours. But I was just, saying, 20 hours. Think of something like, I don't know, Baldur's Gate 3, right? And that game's like 150, 200 hours, and it's hundreds and hundreds of hours. Obviously, games like Fallout 4, The Witcher, Skyrim, Now, again, I guess Skyrim wouldn't be a PS5 game, but you understand what I'm saying, right? There's plenty of games out there that are going to be longer than 20 hours, but I just did this as a quick average. So that gives you 6,580 hours of gameplay. Feel free to check my math. I did this real quick, but it should be good. But 20 hours at 329, right? 6,580 hours of gameplay. That is about 165 weeks of full-time, 40 hours a week gaming. So think about that, 165 weeks, which is, slightly over 3 years, right? That is insane. That is a lot of time. If you were to spend 3 years just playing games full-time, 40 hours a week, pumpkin, for the next 3 years, you would not run out of games. And that, of course, pumpkin, no chewing. That, of course, assumes that no other games come out in that period. So, come here. I know. There you go. So think about that. 3 years of games, assuming no other game comes out in that period, which, of course, other games are going to come out. And again, this is just the top of the creme de la creme. There's plenty of other games that are below 80 that are also good, that people really enjoy, things in the 60 to 80 range. I didn't look at those numbers. So this idea is just kind of ridiculous that there's nothing to play, right? Like, I have a backlog on my PlayStation that would easily take me, I would think, a year to burn through if I did it full time. Probably even longer. I didn't really look at it, so probably even longer. And then you've got things like the summer sale just happened, or it may still be going by the time you watch this. But I was able to buy, I think I bought 5 games for like $22. And these were like real games. These weren't like crappy games. These are really good quality games that I've been meaning to play for a while. I haven't even bought the Diablo 2 expansion. I don't remember what this expansion is. It's the Warlock one, what it's called. But that's on sale for like 25% off. And I mean, you could get hundreds of hours in Diablo 2. That game is awesome. And so just think about that for a second. We have got so many great games. Then you jump into all of the games that were on the previous generation. So jump in and look at all of the games that were there for PS4, and like how like crazy that would be, right? Just the hundreds of games that you could play on there. And so I guess why I'm bringing this up, why am I even talking about this, is because I feel like so many of us are just in this constant state of negativity. And I know, again, a lot of it is just nonsense on the internet. You hear people in chat rooms and stuff. And I don't know if you saw, but the other week, this analysis that was done, I'll see if I can find the article. Maybe I can throw it in the description of our YouTube video. But it said that we officially passed the point where there are more active bots on the internet than there are active users on the internet. So, we are rapidly heading towards dead internet theory, as it were. And so what I'm going to try to do going forward with this show is, yes, I'm going to talk about real topics. Yes, I'm going to talk about big, important issues, in fact, impacting the industry. And of course, if you're interested, you can go to the sandbox.space /Discord and join our Sandbox Discord, or you can search the sandbox.space on YouTube, and that's where we do our Sandbox weekly podcast, which is more towards like game development for game devs. It's a professional sort of podcast, but it's free on YouTube. You can also find it on Apple Podcasts and Spotify if you're interested in that. But for this show, I really want to focus on the exciting news and the fun stuff that's going on in video games. And so every Tuesday, I'm just going to do this show live, and then I'm going to post the videos up online. And I really encourage you to be a positive influence in our industry. There's enough negativity going around. And I'll say, again, if you want to join us on Discord, we have my Volpe Creates Discord. We have the GDEX Discord, which is the gaming expo I throw. We've got the Sandbox Discord. There's plenty of places where you can come and be a part of a positive community, a positive environment around gaming, because ultimately, like, this is something we love, right? I love video games. I left healthcare. Not saying I won't ever go back, but I left healthcare to make video games because I was really, really interested in this, and I really just love this industry. I love storytelling in games. It's just, I think it's great. And I'm sick of the constant negativity that's going around. I don't think it does the industry any good, and I don't think it does you as a person, us as people, us as gamers, any good. That doesn't mean we shouldn't ignore the realities of what's going on, but we need to find a balanced approach to looking at these things. So that was my just thoughts that was going on around this as I was going throughout my week this week, prepping for the show. Now, another thing that's interesting that happened is we have got the, let's see if I pulled up, we have got the Grand Theft Auto 6 pre-order is live. And, you know, or I guess it isn't live yet, but it will be live in a couple of days here. I think it's on the 25th, June 25th. So today is the 23rd. So in 2 days, they'll be live. I don't know if I'm going to pre-order it right away. I'm generally not the biggest pre-order guy, but particularly like, this is weird. So pre-ordering used to be a thing when I was growing up because it was a physical copy. And so you would pre-order it to guarantee that you would get access to the game when it came out, that it would be delivered to you. And, you know, most of the time it was delivered to you on the day it was supposed to come out. Man, those days when you pre-ordered and you didn't get it until like 1 to 3 days after the game had released, and you're like, oh, I just could have gone and bought it from the store. Those really pissed you off. But digital pre-orders don't really mean anything other than you just get to play it that day, right? But you could just buy it that day. There's no benefit. Yeah, there's pre-order bonuses, but like whatever. Most of them are pretty lame. But when it was physical, there were times when you just couldn't get the game. You would go to Target and you would go to Toys R Us and you would go to Best Buy and they would just be sold out everywhere. And GTA 6 is probably going to be one of those games if I had to venture a guess. But anyway, I don't know if I'll pre-order it, but I have to tell you, I'm getting pretty excited about the game. And so it's one of those things where I cautiously optimistic, I guess. You know, I want to believe that Rockstar wouldn't release a game that they're not 100% just totally confident in. And everything they've released, GTA 5 is a great game. I never beat it. I kind of want to go back and play it again since I was never able to beat it. But GTA 5 is great. Red Dead Redemption 2 is awesome. It's one of my favorite games of all time. So they don't tend to mess around. Like they're going to put something out that they think is really good. And obviously those videos that they've been putting out and the screenshots, like you can never quite 100% trust those things. But man, oh man, I don't know. Like it's looking pretty cool. And so I'm going to adjust something real quick. I am looking forward to seeing what the I'm undoing the wrong thing here. This is why you don't do it live. Let's lock that. I am looking forward to seeing what this game is going to be. You know, like it just is an event in the gaming space, and we don't get a ton of events in the gaming space these days. And so, or I guess maybe a ton of positive events. So I don't know. Let's see what it is. If you don't want to play it, I'm not advocating you play it. I don't own any stock in Take-Two or Rockstar or anything. You know, I don't care if you buy it or not. I'm just saying for me personally, I was kind of like tentatively like, oh, I'll see what it's like. And then when the cover art was released this week and the pre-order date was announced, I'm just starting to get kind of excited about it. You know, it's like how can you not, I guess, when you're a gamer, like my age, and it's just like I've grown up with all these games, and I remember when GTA 3 came out, and just what a wild ride that game was, and it was just so exciting to play, and it was doing just these really cool things that I don't know, just other games weren't doing. And so I would like to believe that this is going to be one of those moments. And of course, we can't tell. We won't know until it's out and all of that. But I mean, wouldn't you rather it be one of those moments? Wouldn't you rather it be one of those exciting times that is just, everybody can kind of just be excited about a game instead of everything having to be this constant fight about what is and is not good enough or whatever. So I'm going to pull up the, if I can here, if I can find it. Yeah, here we go. So I'm going to pull this up. Oh, no, that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Is it this one? That's not the right one either. Okay, there we go. So I'm going to pull this up real quick. Apologies, I should have had this prepped and ready, but you know how it is. Sometimes we just do it live. Okay. Or we don't. All right, this is going to be messy, but here you go. Hopefully you can see that. Do it live. The Grand Theft Auto cover art. I think it's got the standard thing everyone's mentioning. The helicopter is up in the corner there, which is cool. But yeah, I mean, I'm jazzed about what we're going to see here for GTA 6. So again, not saying we should go buy it. It's a giant, large company. You don't have to support them. You don't have to trust them. You don't have to believe them if you don't want to. But it is an opportunity for us to really have a new cool game experience that might be something worth thinking about or being excited about. I don't know. You tell me. You tell me in the comments. Are you excited about the GTA 6? Are you at least curious about what it's gonna be like in the long term? And then I also got in the mail the new Game Informer, but today I don't think I'm going to have the time to go through it. So next week, I'm going to open up the Game Informer and we'll go through it and we'll talk about it, as we do that. So, yeah, I think that's a good place to stop for today's Volpe Creates show. I want to remind people that GDEX, the expo that I throw, thegdex.com, don't forget the is alive and cooking. We are still selling tickets, taking applications for volunteers. If you want to attend the show and get a free pass, then you can do that. But still looking for exhibitors, speakers, all that fun stuff. We have a lot of exciting events happening there. And particularly if you are in the game development side and you're really excited about that, then we're going to be offering a lot of educational sessions and opportunities and whatnot. But, we are in a tough space as an industry. And I think the best that we can do is really focus on trying to work together and make each other's lives easier and to help each other out. And that's really what it boils down to. Like, we are not going to get through this difficult time with the layoffs and AI and outsourcing and everything unless we are helping and supporting each other. And that means if you are somebody that's in a position to help out the community, if you can offer connections to people, for example, that might want to come and speak at GDEX, or if you know folks that might want to sponsor, that's a big one. Sponsorship's always a big one. Trying to get the financial position for the show is really important. But, now's the time. Jump in, help out in any way you can. We are like 114 days away from GDEX, so we have time, but we're really going to be barreling here before too long. So, but yeah, I mean, that's kind of it. I really appreciate y'all being on the show, watching the show. I'm going to be doing this regularly. And if you want to hop on the stream and, just be a part and ask questions, we can talk about whatever. This is designed to be a community focused conversation about the video games industry. So I'll have my little thoughts, but we're here to talk about whatever folks want to talk about. I'll probably have some guests on as well as I continue to do this. But yeah, I'm excited to get back to it. I'm hoping that I'll be able to continue with regularity on both this and the Sandbox.Space show, which we just broke our 110th episode, which is pretty exciting. I cannot believe that we've been doing that for, it's been like 3.5, 4 years now. 110 episodes. It's a lot, but we're going to keep on doing it. Really appreciate y'all watching. I look forward to seeing you in the next video next Tuesday at 11 a.m. Eastern time. Otherwise, I hope you all have a wonderful week, and I will see you in the next one. Take care, y'all.